Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the 57th Annual C-Lab Commencement. My name is Jennifer Furland. I'm the Executive Director of Strategic Initiatives and Partnerships, and I have the pleasure of overseeing out-of-school time programming, and I've been working for the past 7 months or so to organize and plan this summer's C-Lab program. I'd like to thank all of you for being here to support C-Lab, New Bedford Public Schools, all of our students. And I'd like to recognize our distinguished guests today. We have Superintendent Andrew O'Leary. And we have our guest of honor, Mrs. Simone Bourgeois, who, as you all know, retired at the end of June. She retired at the end of June after serving New Bedford Public Schools in C-Lab for over 50 years. I'd also like to recognize our partners, those who without their support this summer would not have been possible. The Naval Undersea Warfare Center, Cutty-Hunk STEAM Academy, New Bedford Rowing Center, Massachusetts Environmental Police, the City of New Bedford Community Development Block Grant Committee, the Buzzards Bay National Estuary Program, South Coast Community Foundation, the Irwin Jacobs Family Foundation, the West End Day Nursery, and the Community Boating Center. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. John Martins, who has coordinated the program all summer.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you everyone for being here. Let me move this. My name is Dr. John Martins, and I've had the privilege of working with such an amazing group of students. Our dedicated staff have absolutely enjoyed just watching the happiness, the curiosity, and just all the science experience our students have worked on. They get to do some unique activities that most students don't have an opportunity to. They've traveled to Cutty-Hunk, they're rowing, they're getting their boating license. I mean, this is some cool stuff that most students don't have the opportunity to do, and we've had the absolute pleasure of watching them work through all of this. This truly is a special place, and the hands-on learning is something that would be, an exemplar example for any school to emulate. So what makes C-Lab exceptional isn't just the program itself, it really is our students, our 9th graders up front who have been so happy. If you want to see happy kids, you walk through C-Lab hallways. They are so excited to be here, and you wouldn't expect that for a summer program, but they love being here, and some have been here since grade 3, and we absolutely appreciate that. With that being said, it's now my pleasure to introduce Miss New Bedford teen, Bree Lefevre. Her platform is water safety, which is relevant for C-Lab, and she is going to sing the national anthem. Bree.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet
Bree, thank you. That was amazing. And Bree also donated several life jackets to the Sea Lab program, so we thank you for that. Thank you, Bree. I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker, Ms. Krista Bank from Vineyard Wind. I'm going to read her bio first. So Krista, as fisheries manager, oversees efforts to build on improving relations with the fishing industry and surrounding communities. This includes directing outreach engagement, developing fisheries research programs, and identifying potential workforce opportunities for fishing industry involvement. She has spent the last 4 years laying the groundwork for these strategies as a fisheries liaison on the Vineyard Wind 1 project. Krista is a fisheries biologist who spent 12 years working at the School for Marine Science and Technology, where she spent considerable time offshore on commercial fishing vessels working on collaborative research projects. Prior to that, Krista sailed on traditional sailing vessels crossing the Indian and South Atlantic Ocean and earned her 100-ton captain's license while sailing on the schooner Ernestina, the only surviving 19th century Gloucester-built fishing schooner. She started her career teaching marine science at outdoor experimental education programs in New England, Southern California, and the Florida Keys. Krista holds a bachelor's degree in marine biology, a master's degree in fisheries oceanography from the University of Massachusetts at Dartmouth, and she resides in New Bedford with her husband and 3 children. Krista, welcome.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? All right. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for the invitation to be here today to speak to all these dedicated students. And I believe we all share a common interest, which is our love of education and our love of the ocean. And that's been super important to me throughout my entire career. So I currently, as he told you, I work at Vineyard Wind, which is a renewable energy project. We are currently building a wind farm south of Massachusetts and Nantucket, about 14 miles south of there. So if any of you drove down Route 18 to get here today, you might have seen some of the pieces of the wind turbines. There are those big white towers, and there's blades there, and there's black numbers on them. So all of those pieces that you see get towed out to the wind farm, put together kind of like a Lego construction. Once the turbine is fully constructed, it creates electricity that goes through cables underneath the sea floor to the shore in Massachusetts and creates electricity for us all. So my role with this project is to work with the fishing community. I oversee our fishery science program, which is working with local commercial fishermen and the SMAS scientists up the street. So we monitor the fish abundance for fish, lobsters, and scallops to see how much was there and where they were before construction. So for 3 years, they were out on fishing vessels monitoring that. We had fishing vessels out there during construction to, again, monitor the fish, scallops, and lobsters. And then they're going to compare that to what's happening after construction. So 3 years after construction, they'll monitor those same fish species and see what's changed. I also work with our construction team and our contractors to try to connect local fishing vessels for different opportunities to work during the construction phase of the project. So we have fishing vessels out there right now helping to monitor the work site. They also help to deploy different types of equipment out there. So they deploy buoys that help to listen for marine mammals and whales out in the lease area during construction. They also deploy weather buoys and other types of equipment. So workforce is another part of what I do. Then I also work with just general communication with the fishing industry on what's happening out there with our project and other ones on the East Coast. So that's what I currently do. But if you had asked me just 5 to 10 years ago if I thought I'd be working for a renewable energy company, I would have said, that doesn't really sound like what I typically do. I wouldn't have thought I would be here. So my career path has taken a lot of different changes. I've altered course, I've done different things, but that common thread has always been my love for learning and my love for the ocean. And it did start at UMass Dartmouth. I got my bachelor's degree in marine biology, but I was really more interested in being able to scuba dive and be in waters where you can actually see the fish and look at coral reefs and ecosystems like that. So I taught for a little while at a marine ecosystem place in the Florida Keys, Then I wanted to learn more about kelp forests, so I went to Southern California and worked off Catalina Island, again, sort of doing some marine education with students. But I would come back to New England and I would teach at the New England Aquarium for their marine science summer program. And that's when I got connected with the schooner Ernestina. And I got to spend a week with my students sailing on the Ernestina. Has anybody here sailed on the Ernestina? Just raise your hand if you have. Yeah, it's a pretty unique experience. She's an amazing ship. And again, I had been on the water before. I'd worked on boats. But to be able to sail over Stellwagen Bank for a week with all the whales there, it's a totally different experience. So if you've been on a whale watch, you can hear them when they come to the surface and they make so much noise. But it's muffled by the engines. But when you're on a sailing ship, it's just a whole different experience. So that led me again to working on tall ships. I got to cross the Atlantic, being on watch in the middle of the night. With you don't see anything for days. It's like black out there. The sky's amazing. I had the occasional looking over the side of the ship. They had Cape fur seals in the South Atlantic, and they look like angels because they're like a sea lion. You know what a sea lion looks like with their big pectoral fins? Well, they would swim next to the ship at night, and the bioluminescence would outline them, so they would look like these crazy angels just following the ship. And again, if you get the chance to be on watch in the middle of the night crossing the Atlantic, you should take it. Even though it's a little crazy, they talk about sailors that see things. So one night I'm looking out and it's black, and all of a sudden I see this like orange glow, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's a ship, maybe there's a fire, maybe they need help. So I run back to the maid on watch, and I'm like, I think I see a fire over there. I think that we should go over there and check out what's happening. He takes out his binoculars, he looks back at me, looks again, he goes, thank you for reporting the moonrise. You can go back up to the bow now. So all of these experiences kind of led to different things. So Ernestina led me back to New Bedford. We have a great dynamic port here. The fishing industry is super active. I wanted to get back into fishing and science, and so I started working on commercial boats as a NOAA observer, where you come out as a scientist. I'm running out of time. Where you're measuring fish, and you're out to sea for 2 weeks with fishermen, and then some of the captains I was working with were like, we do cooperative research with SMAST here in New Bedford. You should work there. And that's how I ended up in New Bedford, was a recommendation from a fisherman. So I worked at SMAST for 12 years, working with different types of research projects, and that's where I am now. And that common thread, again, has always been my love for the ocean and my love for learning. But the other very cool thing is that I made a network and a community of people that share the same interests. So each one of those jobs I had, I met amazing people that have taken way different paths than I have. So some are environmental lawyers, some run the New England Fisheries Management Council, some work for Oceana, some do documentaries where they connect the ocean health to human health. And then most recently, I was at the Whaling Museum, and I ran across this wonderful water bottle with these beautiful drawings on it. And I was like, wow, that's really intricate. And then I look at who the artist is, and I'm like, oh, that's Nick. He's one of my Keys family friends from the Florida Keys. So his path that he took was art, and now he sells all of his artwork all over the East Coast with different ocean life scenes. So your love of the ocean, your love of learning, this Sea Lab community here, it connects all of you, and so now you all have started on your ocean family network path, and you can all go into different directions and find your own fun things to do. So thank you for that time. Nice to be here. Congratulations, you guys have done an amazing thing.
Okay, thank you, Krista. And you used the word bioluminescence, which was our word of the day on Wednesday, so that just happened to work out for us here at Sea Lab. I would like to introduce Superintendent Andrew O'Leary. He is going to announce the winners of the What Sea Lab Means to Me Essay Award. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Morning. It's hard to believe we're here at the end of another successful Sea Lab session. And when I think about what the essay contest means, it's really deep and profound. What does Sea Lab mean to me? And that's something for all of us in New Bedford, all of us who've participated or partnered or who've had our students in Sea Lab. It means something to us. It is very special. It is very unique. Thanks to the efforts over the years of Mr. Levasseur And of course, Ms. Bourgeois, C-Lab means something. It means something to us. It means something to everybody in the city. It means something, as we've heard, it means something to the nautical and marine community all around the world. You could talk to people like the greats in marine science like Robert Ballard. They know what C-Lab is. They've come here. And so it's so exciting to know that our students here and in previous years are part of that community, and they're going to go on and do great things. So that's what C-Lab means to me, but nobody says it better. This is one of the highlights every year. Nobody says it better than our students and our essay contest winners. So we're going to start and hear what they have to say, and we're going to start with Noura Khalif Pacheco. Noura, if you're going to come up, you're first.
All right.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. They say you should enjoy the smaller things in life, like proportions at an expensive restaurant, or happiness-free slushies from the Keel, or how quickly they pass by, like the current. The salt will sting my eyes, and then I blink, and it's over. I'm sitting here. I'm sinking. I can't help the fact that I don't even feel sad. Anxious, maybe, of change, irregularity. I'm no fish, a swimmer maybe, but no one is strong enough to swim back up the current. It started with my mom trying to find something for me to do. I'm too old for most camps, and I never really fit in right wherever I went. I really let the current drag me far on this one. But now I have to actually think about what C-Lab means to me. Honestly, it's absurd. C-Lab can't just be explained. It's the droning in the mornings. Good morning, Miss Bourgeois, which, by the way, good morning, Miss Bourgeois. Listening to little kids. Did you know? No, I didn't. Nor did I really need or want to, but for you I did. Especially you, Sienna. No one, especially a rumored vegan such as myself, needed to know that the global chicken population doubles that of the human one. C-Lab has done so many things for me. I was never an adventurous person. The sun, goodness, no thank you. Walking around with sandy feet, are you asking for me to cry? Buses, hiking, swimming in cold water, milk. Oh my goodness, the milk. Public school chicken, note to self, do not repeat incident. People drinking from my water, that I will really never understand. I cannot imagine the buzzkill that I would be without this camp. But the bus rides, my holy grail, and I will harp on this until the day I die. In the mornings, 8:05 sharp, in actuality very dull. This year, always late, unpredictable. Nerjal and I almost missed our dime a dozen, in Lily's words, not mine, field trip to Cuttyhunk. Someone conducted an experiment in this bus, too, Francisco Rudy style, if anybody here knows. What's funny is, the bus company is named Reliable Bus Lines. But a current doesn't always take a straight shot. It winds and bends, moves faster and slower, like Nola and Leah, depending on whether apples are involved or not. Yet, we have prevailed. It isn't always a bad thing at all. I'm just dragged along for the ride. Like an arrow, I was really only passing through. Short and fleeting, like my patience, after the Sandwich Salt Marsh incident, which will go unnamed, which was a very fun trip, though cold. Sharp and then also hopefully intentional, just like my wit. Please, Mr. D, hold all judgment. Ultimately, what does C-Lab mean to me? C-Lab is my friends, the mornings, the bland cereal that doesn't quite crunch right, the cold water, swimming with Nola and Lily, yapping, the bus rides. At the end of the day, C-Lab is a summer well spent. C-Lab is a place where you try new things with new people, flush deceased fish down handicapped toilet stalls, and learn. And this leaves me with one thing to say. À tous les mondes, à tous mes amis, je vous aime, je dois voler, which is poached song lyrics from Megadeth with some alterations. But these are not the last words I'll ever speak. I'm a rather talkative person, I'd like to think. But in a way, they truly will set me free from this camp, to grow up a little bit and always learn.
Wonderful, Noura, thank you. A lot of logistic feedback there as well. And next up is Nola Burke.
me is about learning new adventures and finding ways to achieve new goals you never knew was possible. When I first joined C-Lab, I was nervous to join and knew no one other than my brother Kenny, who was in a different grade, so it was hard to be with him. But when I got there, I met so many new people, and yes, we didn't know anything about each other, but we all included me and made sure I was never alone, which I am forever grateful because without them, I probably wouldn't have came back. I got into C-Lab because my mom heard how amazing it was and what you can learn. After only 3 years here, I am so grateful for my mom for signing me up and going to C-Lab because meeting new friends, learning waves and fish to pirates and windmills made me see things differently now. Before C-Lab, I saw the ocean as something I'm never going to go in because of the sharks, but after learning about it more in depth, it helped me fear of the ocean a little bit. I would have never thought C-Lab would help me because would help me become an ocean lover in a couple of weeks. I now love it and go swimming every chance I get with Lily and Nora. If we can swim, we swim. That's one of my favorite things to do this year, other than dressing up in Mr. Pirate D's costumes. What is really great about C-Lab and what I'll always tell people about is how creative you can be because you have an assignment, but you can make it your own. You're able to create things your own way and see projects differently because everyone is different, which personally I think is better because then you can find other ways to do things. Like when we had to make windmills in Dr. Sutherland's class. Everyone was told to make a windmill, and you could choose the shape, the details, and seeing everyone making different types and shapes made it personally so cool to see other people's ways of how they achieve things. A lot of people try to follow each other and make them have the same things because they don't want to mess up. But at C-Lab, I've learned that there is no such thing as messing up. Just different ways, just finding a different way to approach things. This year was a big change, but my teachers still made it something amazing to experience. This year we went to Cuttyhunk and saw the island and how little resources they had to compare us. We went around and saw how many solar panels they have on their hill because that was their main energy source, which made me realize how grateful I am for what I have, and personally you can experience that everywhere you go. My teacher made our experience a huge one last year here at C-Lab, and I am so happy to have a last year with such amazing teachers. Overall, C-Lab was a great experience for only going for 3 years, and I am grateful every day and would recommend it to people to keep going. So that is what C-Lab means to me. It means to find a way to achieve overcoming problems with new friends and not giving up when you think you failed, because at the end of the day, you can't really fail. What really matters is that you keep going, and C-Lab has helped me realize that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nola. And our winner of the What C-Lab Means to Me Essay Award is Michaela Murray.
What really does... What really does C-Lab mean to me? It's a hard question to answer at first, but over the course of this year, I realized it was bonds. Bonds are what unite people, the connections made of memories that stick people together like glue. They're what help hold people upright, like the supports of the wind turbine we saw this year. Before I began C-Lab, I was a very jittery person. Even though I first joined in 5th grade from a friend's recommendation, on my first day, I was way too scared to reach out. She had friends I didn't know, was in the other classroom, and she looked way more confident than I ever thought I could feel. On my second day, she noticed me staying alone in the hallway and asked if I wanted to swap rooms to be with her, which shocked me, as despite how we had known each other for years, I wasn't expecting her to care to notice me. I'm so happy I took that chance and swapped rooms that day, as that day I met friends that I'm still friends with to this day. Over the years, I've realized this is what C-Lab does to people. It brings out the best in them by giving people a space to feel confident and a space where they feel like they can belong. C-Lab has given me a lot of unique experiences that helped shape me into the person I am today. By teaching me the importance of putting in creativity and hard work. Before I began C-Lab, I was expecting a normal boring camp, which meant I got quite a shock when instead, my 6th grade year, I would come home with what seemed like weekly essays, project boards, and slideshow presentations to do. This helped me adapt to a heavier workload and how to organize my time, which was a great help years later when I entered high school this year. This meant that despite being thrust into a new environment, I very rarely got crushed under the increased amount of work. C-Lab has also taught me that science can be fun. It's far more than boring textbooks and charts. It can also be exciting and unpredictable. I really learned this in 7th grade when Mr. Francis made every day an adventure. We worked on memorable hands-on projects like growing rock candy and making model volcanoes. In C-Lab, we actually go out into the field to gather data instead of simply hearing about it. C-Lab was also filled with new opportunities that I wouldn't experience anywhere else. I got my boating license in 6th grade and learned to sail, learned how to snorkel and tied for first in the trophy dive in 7th grade, and got to try kayaking in 8th grade. This year, we learned the difficult art of rowing and went on an educational trip to Cuttyhunk. I never would have done any of these things if not for C-Lab. C-Lab was an amazing experience, and my only regret is not having started it sooner. It came with a myriad of new friends, new views, new experiences, and new opportunities that I wouldn't have had otherwise. From start to finish, it was a great and wild ride.
So Michaela, stay standing. So Noura, Nola, and Michaela, just stand one more time for a round of applause. All right, Sarah.
Thank you. Excellent work, guys. So now we're going to get to the point where we're going to recognize all of our 9th graders with their completion certificates. We also have a gift bag for each student provided by our amazing parent-teacher organization, Keel. So thank you for that. So I'm going to invite Dr. Sutherland and Mr. Desjardins to come up and help present these certificates. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Sutherland. I'm here with my co-teacher, Mr. Adam Desjardins. On behalf of Adam and myself, we'd like to thank the parents and guardians and grandparents for the opportunity to work with your young people this year. They're truly an exceptional group of young men and women, and we had a great summer. I might ask you to please hold your applause until the end. We've got 21 students here this morning, okay? Beginning with Jacob Afonso. Lotus Beck. Emma Buchanan. Nola Burr. Sienna Burr. Joshua Cousins. Nirjal Dalakoti. Ellie DeMonico Valiant. Leah DeJesus. Jada Feliciano. Nathan Gendron. Lillian Jupin. Nora Caleb Pacheco. Ava Marie Kazan. Isabella Cowell. Kian Machado. Michaela Murray. Jeremiah Nicholson. Sean Silva. Julia Souza. Alex Zhu. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the C-Lab 9th grade for 2025.
Thank you, 9th grade. You may be seated. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll name all three of them. Yeah.
So the 9th graders were great in every way, including providing feedback constantly, which is awesome. This week I learned that 9th graders normally board the north bus first. So we got that back rolling this week, and they were very happy for it. We had a little signal of when you were going to call. Thank you. All right. So now Kiel sponsors a scholarship as well. We have 3 winners this year. I'm going to name the 3. One is present, and we will present that scholarship. So Juliana Lopes attends the Mass College of Art, majoring in illustration, one of the award recipients. Owen Souza, who attends Roger Williams University, majoring in architecture. And finally, Owen Jupin attends UMass Amherst, majoring in natural sciences. So I believe Juliana is here.
Congratulations. Of course.
And again, thank you to Kiel for donating so many things and the great job they did during the ice cream social. It was a nice event for everyone who attended. So I know you wanted a 3-hour ceremony, but we're going to just do some housekeeping items right now. Immediately following this commencement ceremony will be our open house. So thank you for attending. It's been an absolutely excellent summer. When we begin sending people out, we'll start with our students in grades 6, 7, and 8. They'll report back to their classrooms, and then the 9th graders, please stick around. You'll be able to walk your families to your classroom. You are welcome to tour any class you'd like, not just your child's grade level. Feel free to walk through. There's some cool stuff going on throughout the building. After touring classrooms, and if you'd like to take the project home that your child may have worked on, and you want to sign them out early, you're welcome to do that. We do have a sign-out table in front, which will be staffed, but they can also stay for the full day. So if you want your full C-Lab experience, we will be here until 11:30. You can stay the entire day, but if you'd like to be dismissed early, that's also an option. I wasn't paying attention to this part. I don't know if I was in the room. Did we present anything to Ms. Bourgeois yet? Does that happen? Okay, well, if we could please bring that over. Do you have it? So Ms. Simone Bourgeois has been nothing but gracious this entire summer, and I would like to congratulate on all of her fine work, and thank you, Simone, so much for being here. Even this week, Simone reached out again, offering advice and a willingness to help moving forward, and I absolutely appreciate your guidance. Thank you, Simone. All right, so thank you, everyone. We're going to start with grades 6, 7, 8. So students in 6, 7, 8, you can actually report directly to your class, all right? So I'll go backwards. 8, 7, and 6, you can report to your class. I know what you want to hear. Go ahead.